Riding down 65, thinking what's on my mind. Oh, it's Tuesday. It's podcast time. It's podcast time. It's podcast time.
Insubordinate and churlish.
Spicy K in the building. TK in the building. We're the ops. We telling all with a big podcast and not small. We live on Tuesday. Replay is when it's opposite. It's what we're called with the ops. We telling it all. We telling it all. We telling it all. We telling it all. All sides. Spicy K. Woohoo! We are on episode number 71 of the Ops. We're telling it all. My name is Spicy K.
Hey, my name is TK. How y'all doing?
Of course, for every episode. So for episode 71, we always have someone that we want to tell on. And by the way, for people that needs to understand, the Ops stands for in theme song. We all it's mentioned, but it stands for the opposites. We're not like the ops for real. But I will tell on you. But I'm just saying. But
Yeah,
we're the
she will.
opposites.
She them folks. Don't even let her fool y'all. She them peoples.
But yeah, but for episode number 71, TK, who are you telling on this week?
Man, it always seemed to be something that upsets me during the week. But this particular week, since last week, nobody has really upset me. But so I'm gonna tell on this little fella that just recently started working with us in the sales department, and he's one of those well-to-do people. And when I say well-to-do, he just means well and to do well, but he's aggravating as hell. And so I found out today that this man, I knew he was in his 60s. I knew he was in the 60s, but he's been in car sales for a while for one of more reputable companies here in Alabama. He retired, came out of retirement. Guess he didn't want to go back to where he was, so he came to us. Thank goodness. He's a real sweet guy. He gave me a free car wash to Lee's Tunnel. If you're not familiar with that down here, it's a real well-known car wash. They do a wonderful job, but they're real expensive, and nobody want to go all the way down there and wait so long. But anyway, I found out today that this man wears a toupee.
Oh.
And listen, hey, I'm all about men doing their thing. These women got all kind of wigs and figs and 27 pieces and everything they attach on their head. So that's fine. He's a white guy. And he's a Greek. And Greek people have real thick hair. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like if you know somebody Greek, plus he got a mustache. So I realized his mustache, was kind of, it's real bushy, but it's stopped like right here, but it's real fat. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dang, I wonder if that's real too. But anyway, it was just weird because I didn't realize it. Like I realized he's older and didn't have any gray hair, and I thought maybe there was some sort of aerosol spray or something that was involved with his daily care or something like that. I had no idea it was a whole headpiece. And so I'm telling on him because, sir, what the hell's wrong with you? And, like, what? But I'm all for it, but I didn't know. So it must be one of those real suspensive ones, because it don't look like it. Like he literally be blowing in the wind out front, walking over there to me, and I don't see nothing. You know what I mean? Like when Donald Trump had that little small squirrel on his head, you know what I'm saying? We all knew and could tell. And that come over was awful. But this guy really got a good toupee. So I'm just going to applaud him for that. And, I'm telling on him because, damn, dog, you fooled me. Because, like, I don't have very many gray hairs. I got like 4 now. But I'm not 60. He is. He should have more than that. And he doesn't. And I can't stop looking at him now. So from this morning forward, I could not stop staring at his head the whole time. But it was from the back now. I wasn't looking at him where he could see me staring at his head. But nope, I still couldn't tell. Shout out to you, GK. I'm just gonna say his initials. He's Greek. It sounds like "can't stand ya," but that's not his name. That's not really his name. That's just what we call him because his name is George.
Whoa. So for episode number 71, who I am telling on this week, I am telling on who?
Oh no! Did you blank out?
No, I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
who's responsible. I don't know if it was the Tennessee State Fair people that was responsible or the people that was directing traffic. But what I want to tell on is that
I told
I
you
went to the fair
that's your first
last
mistake.
last Friday because I needed to see the monster trucks because it's a highlight. I want to see the monster truck. And
Mm.
so they had parking. It says general parking, and then it
Mm-hmm.
also said like preferred. So general parking was on the right, and preferred parking was the middle lane.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pay for parking. So of course I'm in the middle lane because that's the lane
Is that
that
what
I supposed
preferred
to be in.
means?
Yeah,
People that
they have
pay
to
are
pay. Yeah,
preferred.
because general parking is no cost to it. So because I be by myself
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want no problems. So you park in the front, no problems. You don't want to be parking somewhere out in the woods somewhere. You don't want to do that. So apparently originally you were like I went to the fair the Thursday before and didn't have any problems going in the middle lane, paying my money, parking. This time it was a long line. Didn't like that.
You weren't preferred.
And when you got up to the front, it was blocked off. Now I done sit in this line all this time for it to be blocked off. And then um so then I had to merge with the people that were general parking. And so I was like, and so I was like, hey, y'all may need to move that sign because it's telling you, telling us to go in this lane. And he said that they told him, and that's why I don't know who to blame because I don't know who did it. Um, the police officer told me he said that they told them to not let anybody else go through here unless it's a vendor or a person that had, I guess, a preferred parking pass.
That was actually preferred. Yes, unlike yourself. Okay.
So no, mm-mm. So I merged to the lanes like the nice, responsible citizen that I am. But then I looked at the other police officer and I said, "Can I just turn here? Just make a U-turn because after I've been sitting in this line for at least 20 minutes, there is no reason for me to have to go further down just to turn back up
You could have just
and
sat there.
sit there and blocking traffic."
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "Yeah, just be safe." So I said, "Bet." So, so I saw the cars in front of me like make a U turn, and I ain't go as far as they did. I just made a quick U turn at right by them, and I was like, because I was not about to stand in that line, and I did still have
Where you
get
standing?
preferred parking
You were
because
driving.
I still paid for parking,
Mm.
which is what I was planning on doing anyway,
It's not what you preferred.
paying for parking. But yeah, I guess because it was a Friday, I don't know. It was just a hot mess. I sat in that line for a very long time, and I was not happy. I don't like lines. I don't like lines, and I don't like weird parking spots
Lines
places.
are a thing now since COVID. Like there's no way. Like everywhere you go, there's a line. I get sick of it, but that's just the way it is. Even if you go inside, it's a line.
But I'm just saying, I thought I was gonna be able to just go through, and I wasn't because they blocked it, and I wasn't happy. Cause see, like I used to be the person that used to go to Opera Meals and they pay for valet parking because parking is essential for me. That is one of my like
Mm.
I care about I care about my parking
Due to safety or distance.
a lot of things.
Yeah,
Safety, distance, entitlement. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
I'm
All of
ashamed to
it.
say that I'll sacrifice safety for distance. If it's close, it could be the little clown with the balloon right there, and I'm still walking past. My, what's up, partner?
Like seriously, that's how I became friends with one of my like with one of the people that may be listening to the show. It's because they took my parking spot one day when we was at working at the same place, and I was like, "Who is in my parking spot?" And they were like, "There is no parking spot, like assigned
Oh,
parking." And I was like, "But it is because only me and this other person used to park there. My other friend, we used to
mm,
park there. We used to take turns. I would always normally naturally be here to work, but we used to take turns parking there. And I was like, how dare somebody else try to park there in our spot? Like that's our
mm.
spot. So yeah,
That's
some of it's
hilarious.
entitlement, and
So y'all must have
I
made
don't mind
friends with
it.
each other while she was helping you up off the ground after she knocked you down.
No, nobody is fighting at work. Ugh,
Shit.
that sounds horrible.
Had you come to me with a parking spot, the audacity just in that alone, I would have had to give you elbow. And you had decided to hit back, then we would have been fighting. But that would have it would have had to someone would have had to come. Like, excuse me, ma'am, this is your
She
what?
just no, like I'm a very lighthearted person, so it
She just laughed
she
at you
yeah, and I laughed back, and we became friends.
because she was like, "How dare this girl?"
Because I was like,
But
who is parking? Da da da. Who got da 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 da?
my best friend in fourth grade, we made friends out of a similar situation. We hated each other. We got put outside in the hallway
I
because
don't
we
hate
was
people though.
disrupting class. Oh yeah, I hated her. I sure did. That was probably my first hate experience. Was in the fourth grade because I couldn't stand that girl. And we got outside in the hallway and we was like, "Why don't we like each other? Like I don't like you. We don't like you either." And then we was best friends after that.
Whoa.
Weird. It was weird. Still is to this day. But she turned out to be like a little two faced little heifer. Down the road. Like we lost touch after fourth grade. Like she moved away. And then I saw her again when I went to Motlow in college. Like this is fourth grade to college, right?
Oh.
Yeah. And I saw her for the first time. We was like, ah. And I sit down at the table with her. Devin Powell, if you out there listen, the day that we stopped being friends was the day that I was sitting at the table with you and y'all was talking about that girl. And then when she walked up, y'all was like, "Hey, girl." That was the day. That was the last time, and you know it that you ever saw me because I was like, "I don't know this girl. That ain't my type of people." Deuces, and we still went to the same school. I didn't. I hadn't seen this girl in umpteen years. I was so excited to see my best friend from fourth grade, but she had turned into somebody that I was not,
Oh.
and I couldn't deal with that. I stopped mid chew like I know this ain't the same girl. They were just dog in the back. I got up from the table, went and sat somewhere else, and that was the last time she and I had a conversation. I couldn't believe that. I told my mama about that. I said, "Mama, I can't believe this." But anyway, that's just a tale of having best friends in fourth grade. Wait till you're grown to have best friends. If there's any children out there listening,
Yes.
Lord, I hope not. But if it's any children out there listening, wait till you get grown to have a best friend because you don't really know what you're talking about in the fourth grade. Like seriously, y'all can't even write cursive no more. Can y'all even read by the fourth grade yet? Like I don't even know what these children are able to do now. Y'all don't know nothing. Don't try to choose your
My
friends.
best friend, no, my best friend and I been best friends since like 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah, that's not a child. That's y'all almost grown. Shut up. That's preteen. I'm talking about children.
Okay.
Seventh, eighth grade. We talking fourth grade. You still in elementary. You in middle school by the time you're
Uh,
seventh, eighth grade.
7th grade for us was elementary school.
Oh, and that little yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you. I feel you. That's that's crazy. What y'all went from elementary to high school?
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. You just haven't started yet. Bless your heart.
But yeah. So anyway, for episode number 71, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it. It's often a controversial subject that typically stems around race. And for
Racism.
this particular episode, we're talking about Judge Erin Gal Gal God.
Whatever. Heifer.
Yeah.
Let's just call her Heifer. I don't
She
care
is
if
a
she a
supreme
judge.
she is a Supreme Court judge in New York State, and
Who's
she
yeah, state
basically,
Supreme Court judge. That's just
yeah,
yeah.
I said
Mhm.
for you New York, the
Yeah,
state.
yeah,
I
but
just wanted to, yeah.
it's just weird. You said Supreme Court, and it's people. You know, people have to clear. You have to clarify for the people.
So this incident basically happened back in 2022, but apparently now she's facing, well, she's basically suspended right now, but she's appealing. So
That's
what's
how she
going
feel about people.
But basically, what happened is there was like a graduation party, and there were black people, black teenagers at the graduation party, and she wanted them to leave. And she said that if you don't leave, I will shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
She also made references to the police that I got your back. I'll take anybody down that,
Mm-hmm.
that interferes with you.
She's
She
basically
also
saying. So basically, she's saying if you kill one of these black kids, I got your back and covering you. You ain't gonna face no time, and it ain't gonna be no issue.
Well, she actually, what got her, I think, in trouble is that she said that she was going to shoot the kids herself, the
Mm-hmm.
teenagers herself.
Yeah,
So,
but she also implied that if they were to shoot him, they good to go, and that's
so,
sad.
so yeah. So, like I said, this happened back in 2022. I think they just got the recording sometime this year. They suspended her and placed her on. Uh, they suspended her, and now she has appealed. She just recently appealed, actually, a couple of days ago. I think on the 26th. Yeah. So
She
yesterday.
appealed the suspension, or
Yeah.
she appealed that she
The
okay.
suspension. She said that what she did was inappropriate, but she thinks that she deserves a second chance.
Oh, why does she? What basis did she give for that?
Um,
You know
I,
what the basis she gave for it? The same one they all do. I've done more good than I've done bad, and this one incident doesn't define me as a person.
she
This is the
basically
only incident that's recorded. Okay.
mentioned her position, saying that she was a effing judge and telling
Mm-hmm.
them to get off the effing property. She also apparently, from what
Effing.
it stems from, is that um there was also some keys. Apparently they couldn't leave because of the key. They lost their keys, so that's why it was taking them a while. And she wanted them, instead of, she actually said, she was like, if I find the keys, I'm throwing them in the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was like telling the police officers, just put them in the back of your car, until I guess one of the sisters of the teenagers was going to come up and pick them up. She also mentioned that her son apparently hit someone or beat someone up, and she was proud of that. And she said that, so I guess this is the issue that you were, I guess, asking. I guess the reason why she wants a second chance is because she said this was secondary trauma for an incident that happened to her back in college.
You know what? Bitch, you was in college 40 years ago. Fuck you and that incident. I don't give a damn what happened to you, and I don't victim blame and do nothing like that. Yo, PTSD ain't got nothing on ours, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. You think we don't have PTSD from people like you putting our lives in danger by calling the police on us for nothing? You know what I mean? Like I don't care. Like I really don't care. See, see to me the women of a certain race are more dangerous than the men because they utilize what is referenced as white women tears to get themselves out of situations and explain situations. Like their explaining is worse than a mansplain. Like it's just like this is their justification for things is hurtful and it's insulting. I had a traumatic experience back in college. Ain't nobody do nothing to you in college. You thought somebody was trying to do something to you, and you probably went as far as to report that somebody tried to do something to you. Nobody bothering you. You have way more instances of white people harassing blacks than vice versa. Way more. And I don't think people understand that. I don't know what you fear. I don't know what in circular. I do know what you fear. It's in the book White Fragility. It tells it. You all sit and talk about made up stories that happen to nobody and scare each other into being fearful of black people and our skin. just because. That's what's wrong with y'all. I mean, bottom line.
So, a couple of things that I want to make note of that apparently occurred or was distinguished in part of this, I'm assuming, investigation or incident. I should say
Hmm.
incident. She insinuated to the cops that she would contact their superiors if they, because one of the cops said they needed more evidence to make arrests, and she told the police that that's why she told them that she had their back, because she told them that they should just arrest them, and the police officer said we need some evidence in order to arrest them. So that's where that incident came from. The college incident happened back in 1990. um so that was 34 years ago.
40 years ago, like I said.
um and apparently the judicial thing said that she invoked her office to gain preferential treatment, which forfeited her ability to be and appear to be impartial, particularly as it relates to race and law enforcement personality. Given the range of her misconduct, members of the public can have no confidence in her ability to preside in a fair and unbiased manner. Ooh, struggle sometimes. Ooh,
You
I can
was
read.
reading
I
out
can
loud in
really
class and just got
read.
choked up, didn't you?
I can really read.
How do we know that? We just gotta take your word for it, like the
I
judge.
just read that. Come on, stop playing with me.
Mm-hmm.
My mouth was a little parched.
They
That's
could
why I
have.
was drinking
You could
water
have
all
Milli
day.
Vanilli that. I can't see your hands.
Whatever. So does that make? How do you feel knowing that? Like what the reason for her saying she had their back?
How do I feel about her? What misuse of her power and position to say to try to get her preferential treatment the way she wanted it. She wanted them folks gone. Wanted the police feel like the police work for her, which they do not. If anything, they work for the mayor, not a state supreme court justice. Like you don't even get involved until it go too far. So
Exactly.
you just a little hoe ass hoe.
Oh
But
my God.
anyway, that's just my opinion. I don't know her. You know, maybe her background. Let's check what she was doing in 1990. So since she was so traumatized, maybe she traumatized the lives of a young black man or something with her lies.
Yeah, it said that she was trauma, that she was assaulted. They never went into details like, and what's,
I call Cap.
listen,
Cap
even if it was like, people do have trauma. Don't get, people do
Fedora.
definitely have trauma. But I wonder, because they never mention this, because it could be totally a separate, like something totally different, like, or it seems like she's implying that she was assaulted by a black person back in college. And I guess that's the trauma for that. But
That's the only implication I see. What do you mean? She's implying. That's
no, I'm saying like that's the only thing, but that may not even necessarily be the truth, because nobody ever, she never specified what she said. Because sometimes when people have incidents, they say, you know, such and such happened to me when I was younger by black person, white person, Hispanic
mm,
person. You see what I'm saying? But like nothing was ever said in this thing about the person's race or anything like that. So I wonder if, because of the absence of it stating that it was a black person, was it just an incident that didn't include a black person?
no. It included black people. She was either talking about
Well, so why didn't they say it though? That's my point. Like
because they
I
didn't
think
want to
that they would
further.
have said, I think they would have said that if
Mm-mm,
that was the case.
I don't.
Mm.
I think they quoted her. If there was quotes around it, that's what she said. She said there was an incident back in college. Now, why would these young black teenagers traumatize her if she wasn't talking about black people, or she either talking about the time in college where she tried to get the police to shoot black people? She either talking about that because that's
Well,
what she
this
tried to do
part,
there.
one, this part wasn't in quotations.
Mm.
So that's why I'm saying I don't, she could have had a traumatic, that's what I'm saying. Most times when someone has a traumatic thing, they typically, especially as it relates to a race, a lot of times they feel that way because of saying, they feel their way toward a race because of a past trauma
Right.
caused
That
by
ain't got,
that race.
and
But
that's
the
stupid.
fact that it was omitted, because that's what I'm saying. Most people say that though. So
Hmm.
the fact that it wasn't said, it was only it's only implied by us, but the fact that it wasn't said, I'm curious to know if it even was even black people.
Well, you DM her on Instagram and ask
No,
her.
I'm not gonna do that.
That's what you do. I will be like, "Ho, what happened to you
Oh my.
in college? Nothing." That's what she gonna say because she lied. She trying to backpedal out of this situation. Trauma, trauma, trauma. That's what they all do. Something has happened to them. The same thing that
Let's
didn't
not make.
happen to
I don't think we should make generalizations because it's not
the
all.
generalization. This is
So
about,
not.
yeah, it is all.
I don't know.
Who ain't it? Which one ain't it? I bet you can name more than you can't name. Huh? How about that?
But that still implies that it's not all. I don't like for people to generalize black people, so I'm not trying to generalize
They
like
do it anyway.
white judges.
Go
Did you
Warriors.
really just put that on your head?
I'm mad about this. Like this, these folks kill me. Like we can't say that they were implying. Yes, the fuck we can say they was implying because they were. They are. They always are.
Okay. But I'm saying it doesn't list it. So therefore it can only be implied because it wasn't specified. That's why I'm curious to know if it was just maybe a group of people or something like that wasn't necessarily, because I feel like if someone says, why was I traumatized, or why did I react to a white man doing something, I would be like, because back in da 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 or such and such a white man did da da da, to link it together. But the fact that it wasn't linked together, that's what I'm thinking, like something
Mm.
is amiss
I'm
for
gonna
me.
have to call Cap on that, and we have to agree to disagree. Cap, she lying
I'm not
all the way
lying.
around.
I'm not lying. But
We
like
should
you
DM
say,
her and get her on the show and get her side of it. If she was so
are you saying
traumatized,
she was capped? She capped.
yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying me. I was like, how am I capped?
I don't. I mean, I don't consider you a lying person, so I will never say that. But I consider this lady that I don't know a liar, a bold faced liar like the devil.
Whoa.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
OMJ. OMG.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But okay, that's all for that story.
That was enough
So
too.
yeah. So for the next story we have up is none other than Cam Newton interview on Funky Friday. I think that's the name of the podcast. He had an interview with Dr. Bryant.
I don't know who that lady was.
Dr. Bryant.
She sounded like a doctor.
I want to say Bryant.
And if that's his podcast, why he have her on that show? Because she just ate him up. But
That's
she was
all she said.
respectful. It was a respectful thing, because we all know that
Yes, Dr. Bryant.
Cam Newton has, you know,
So basically, he mentioned having 8 kids, and saying that he wanted to have more.
hmm
He has 8 kids with 3 different women. Someone in the comments said that those some of those kids are not biologically his. He just claims some of them.
really.
So I don't know exactly how many. I figure out before this segment is over. I'll let you know exactly how many biological kids if I can find it. Um, and
That's
apparently
interesting.
she was saying to him, because he said that, and let me just, he said that his,
Seed.
no,
It's strong.
the his, oh my goodness, why did I just go blank? He
It
was talking
happens.
about his desire to, basically he has a low desire to, his desire to get married is lower
The
than his desire
fear of
to
divorce.
fear or divorce. Yeah. So she was basically letting him know that he is basically making and creating two dysfunctional, broken homes. And he didn't understand that, it appears. And he, like I said, he wanted to have more kids, and but he also eventually said that he's probably will marry.
Married.
And she was saying that you basically created all these broken homes because all of these homes are not going to have fathers in the home. And also, if you go out and eventually decide to marry and have additional kids, then yes, you will have those kids in your house, things of that nature, but that still leaves those three sets of broken homes you already have created.
Well, that comes in. I think that comes with being a parent. I mean, I get where she's coming from, but if he truly wants to be a parent to these children, he can. And broken homes, have raised the best. But it's a it was weird that she was saying those things to him. And like I said, I get where she was coming from because some of those kids, if not all of those kids, would end up resenting him if he got married to someone and made a home and made more children. And they
Mm-hmm.
had both parents at the same time in the home. I get that. And that's probably gonna happen. Parents hate their kids. Kids hate their parents grow up sometimes. Not hate their parents, but they have issues with their parents when they grow up anyway. So there's nothing he can do about that. So I know I felt like she was attacking him. I felt like she was saying a lot, but she was saying too much and like maybe reading a lot into it. That is that his mentality? Who knows? Like divorce is awful. Like people really do fear that, especially if you have money like he does. Like it could be a problem for him. So there's no law or there's nothing telling him he couldn't be a parent to all of his kids and be a part of their homes without being married to their mothers. We don't know these women. She don't know them women. It may
Yeah.
be a reason why, because he wasn't just not with these women. It wasn't. He doesn't have a lot of one night stand babies. You know what I'm saying? He was with these women, and during the course of their relationship, they created children out of love they had for each other. So there may have been something else there that said that that's not what he's looking for in a wife. I don't know his parent situation. I really don't know who he was raised by, but
Yeah.
that means a lot. I mean, my parents' situation has a lot to do with the reason why I did what I did and where I'm at. Like I never saw an example of uh, what I would want as a family and everything, and then I
Like
try
as
to
a family
create that.
unit.
Yeah, and I try to create that off of the knowledge that I didn't have,
Mm.
and look where I'm at. I don't have either a wife nor family, so it's a it's difficult, and I can imagine the fear. I can imagine the horror stories that he's seen and heard, and that would keep him fearful. But that doesn't mean that he can't raise children with women.
But the thing about it is that I, most most people that I have heard say that their fear has to do with the possibility of divorcing, and obviously, like I said, his fear of marriage. His whatever. And also based on a financial issue, but because he has these kids, he is obviously still going to be financially obligated to these people,
Hmm.
to the mothers of his kids. So to me, the fear of money, it seems like you would not want to have a broken home, because
But
then now you having to pay out more money that takes away from the actual home that you do want to create with your future wife.
so who says his fear stems from the financial aspect
No,
of it?
I didn't say his did. I said a lot of men do have that fear based on a financial aspect.
Yeah, but we talking
I
about
didn't
Cam.
necessarily say he doesn't have unlimited money.
No, he doesn't. But what I'm saying is he's not. It doesn't always have to be of that. That's what's causing his fear. Like I mean, he know he gonna be paying for these kids. I'm pretty sure he's aware until they become of age, he is responsible as 50% parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think all the like that's what men say. Men say a lot of things, and they say it's because a woman want their money, women want this,
Of course.
woman this that.
And
But
some of these
most
people are
of
saying that it ain't even got no money.
right, true,
How you gonna ever worry about paying somebody paying $50,000 every month when you don't even make $50,000 every month?
a
Come
year,
on, I mean a year. So stop playing with me.
right? So
You
it's
have
it's
unrealistic trauma for somebody else's experience.
right. Ain't that something? That's got to be a mental illness somewhere. But you don't. I think people take women handle breakups hard, but men and this is just in my observation because
Okay.
I don't date them, so I've never broken up with one. Um, but the men that I have been around and they've been broken up with, and they were actually in love or what they felt like was love, that can change them. And this changes them in a way that it doesn't change women. Women have a certain resiliency when it comes to heartbreak. You cry, you eat some ice cream, you call you
No, I
hungry.
I think people have that expectation. I hear people say that a lot, that women, like, women can get over that. Not necessarily. There are so many women that, like, have nervous breakdown, mental, they
Right.
have so many other things. They are the only difference is that women are expected to get over it and go about their business. It's
I
not necessarily that they like, there's been plenty of people that have wanted to, like, off themselves because of things like that. And some of them
and
have probably did, and and some of them, go off on and go and kill the new girlfriend or the new wife and all this stuff. Like, these things really go happen. So it's not necessarily that they can easily get over it. They are just more expected to get over it. That's my take on it.
I think both things can be true. I feel like they are expected, and I feel like they do more often than not. But if a man, that's why men build up the walls that they do in relation to relationships. I think it's it's a little bit work because it turns these it's cyclical. Hurt people.
Of
Okay,
course.
and so but I just really think that men don't get enough credit for being able to express their what they actually feel. They have to be a certain way, and that explains. It doesn't explain to the point where it excuses violence, but that explains a lot of it because they can't handle emotional hurt and pain the way women can, and I think they can't handle physical pain the way women can either. And it's different when you're supposed to be this tough guy, but you're a little wussy for real. You know what I'm saying? And that plays on mental, that plays on a lot of different aspects in behavior and how they treat and relate to women. And we don't know what's happened to that man because Cam looked like he might have been goofy looking when he was young. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like seriously, he chose
and
to go to Auburn, so he probably was
oh
goofy
my!
looking.
By the way, he does. Six of the kids are biologically his, and two are stepchildren.
Oh, they can't be stepchildren if
Well,
he ain't
hey,
married.
hey, hey! That's what they said. I'm just repeating what's written. So, he claims the kids
Oh, you
as
remember that
his.
song, Stepdaddy, Stepdaddy?
No, I
Oh, but
don't.
anyway, okay.
No, I don't.
I,
So you say you don't think that he's creating. I want to make sure I understand. So you don't think he's creating broken homes and
in the
wanting to
technical
create
sense,
more broken homes by creating more kids.
in a technical sense, I mean, they are in broken homes. Your
Okay.
parents don't live together; they are in broken homes. So I can't take that say that what she said is false, but I cannot also say that he's not parent enough to parent through that because he is, I mean, he's aware he wants to have more kids. Nobody knows why these men, him and Nick Cannon, want to populate the world. I guess they want to create more black men and women, you know, to help fight the disparity there. But we can't leave it up to these two gentlemen to repopulate the earth with black people. It's just not what we can do. But and then she doesn't know him. He may never get over his fear of divorce and may never get married, but that doesn't mean he won't raise his children. Who says that? Like, there's a lot of kids that were raised in two-parent households that are real assholes and are not productive members of society. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like it seemed like he didn't understand that it's kind of like the whole situation also with Nick, because she also apparently had an interview with Nick as well. I don't know if it's hers or his. I don't know who show was on, but she had a conversation with Nick as well. Um, and you know, you can't fit in the time with all these kids. Like that's not, yes, it's money, but like me and my mom was just having a conversation the other day about, you know, these things. And me and my mom both agree like money isn't everything. Like the kids need their parents, not just not just the father. They need their mother too. They need both of their parents, or at least a male or a female figure that can be like a parent to them. So I'm trying to figure out why they are spreading themselves thin, especially Nick. Nick more than so than Cam. I know we're not necessarily talking about Nick, but I'm just saying he got more baby mamas. Um, but for Cam to want to continue to have more kids, which is his right. Don't get me wrong. Not knocking it. That's on you. But at the same time, you have to understand like these kids are now going to be wanting and longing potentially for their father to be around because their father is not in the household, because they would much rather have had their more, probably would much have rather have. Now there's, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everybody, because some people will be like, I ain't got no daddy and I'm okay with it, but I think more often than not, people that had their that didn't have their father in the home or whatever, they would have wanted the father to be in the home. Of course, also with that being said, the people that fathers didn't do anything for them, they will also have wanted their fathers to do something for them. So financially, emotionally, all of that, they still want them. So again, Cam does not have unlimited money.
I'm gonna say you just hit the nail on the head. Kids are gonna be pissed off regardless. You're gonna either have the kids that had didn't have their parent and had plenty of money, or you gonna have the ones that had their parent there all the time in their damn face, getting on their nerves with no money. So you're gonna have, and they couldn't have what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna have. There's no perfect parent out there. There's not one perfect parent that raised a perfect child.
Oh no, I don't think so either.
So there's all this speculation about what he's creating is just that, it's speculation.
But a lot
That
of people do, this end up having kids. More kids are, I don't know the statistics, but I'm quite sure that more people are having kids than having marriages.
oh yeah, I'm quite certain of that. It's always been that way since the beginning of time. You
So
you think that stopped when
no,
it
no,
comes
no.
winter time? That's what folks do, honey. When it cold outside, who are
No,
you
wintertime. I
holding?
can't. I
Exactly.
can't.
That's exactly what people do and did, whether they was married or not. That is not a requirement of that activity.
You know. So,
So
but
I've
yeah,
heard because I don't partake.
but yeah, I just she did she I believe that she gave him some perspective that he
Girl, I
never
thought
thought
you were
about.
shouting over there. I didn't know what
No,
the hell was going on.
I think that she gave you a perspective that he was never thinking about, and I'm glad that she said that, because I think they had other conversations as well in this interview, And I think
Mm.
the rationale is that men that have money think that money is the end all be all. Because even in that interview, um, he what did he say? He said something along the lines of because he was a high value man, which I questioned, but he may be a high earner, but not necessarily value. But like,
Mm.
because I think there's a lot of things like somebody commented on that on the YouTube. You also have to have character too, and I don't
Okay,
know. I
Kavina
don't.
Samuels.
So, and plus, I just hate the term high value anyway. It's to
It,
me,
it was it was
it's dull.
overused and it was all
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
Mm.
But he basically said that because of the value, the high value, which he should just say the high earner that he is, which is what would be the right, terminology because we don't know him like that. That he could literally pick up any woman and change her to be the woman that she wants. And she specified that no, she is making a choice. And the moment that she no longer wants to be what you want her to be, she will dip and she will go. And she has the ability to go. Because he was saying that women can't just pick a man and just have him to be what he wants. And she said, yes, if he chooses and wants those things and he's okay with that, he has the ability, just like the woman has the ability to be whatever it is. And then later on, if they no longer want to fall in line, they have the option to not fall in line.
Oh, they have the option, but they're not gonna take it 9 times out of 10. That's what he getting at. Like you take a woman and change her life, uh, that man gonna feel like he you owe him something. And most women would stick around and do exactly what they need to do if they because they don't want to owe nobody shit. And that's just the bottom line. He could change my life. Like he could come to me and say, TK, I want you to roll with me. I want you to be my uh
Your
side
side piece.
no, my sidekick, my podcast co-host, this and the other. I'm gonna pay you this much money, but you can't say this, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm gonna have to make a choice. And do I want this $100,000 a month that he finna pay me, or do I want to say what the fuck I want to say and do what I want to do? You have to make a choice, and when you choose money, you can't be mad when your choices are limited because you
but
chose
that's
that.
but that's basically what she was saying though. She was saying that like it's a choice, and if at any time the situation, kind of like there was a lady that went viral. I don't even know if it's a skit or not. About a couple months ago, that said that her husband lost his job and she left him because he didn't have a job. So that's what I'm saying. Circumstances changes and then they leave, or you continue to cheat on them, they leave, or whatever, or develop a drug habit. It could be anything, and they decide to leave.
Who would have somebody else quicker, him or her?
It just depends.
Yeah, exactly. So
Because
this is the
getting
thing,
the thing about it is getting someone is easy. Keeping them, different story.
right?
But both of them, if she was able to catch him, she would be able to catch the next dude. Just like if he
Why
was
would
able to grab her, he'll be able to grab the next girl.
right? And his concern is going to be that, like, well, if you don't want to stick to what was agreed to, then you can go, and I can replace you. When you change someone's life, that's exactly what you do. Do you think she'll be able to just automatically recover from that? That then she'll make another choice to whether she wants to deal with it, and then
Depends on if she stacked her money.
stacked his money. You mean?
Hey, if once
Oh,
the
I don't
change
want. I do not want to get
once
into
it
this with
exchange
you. Nah,
once it exchange hands, it's over.
nah. Because after that, at that point, no. There's nothing that you take. You come into this with exactly what you came into it with, and you leave with it. What you came in with. You don't leave with nothing extra.
Mm. Well, any
And
other thoughts about the interview?
mm-mm.
Okay. You want to go ahead with the next topic about Brianna or
I do want to, as an exit here, I do want to touch on that. So because I was actually listening to CNN when the story broke, as far as one of the officers that was convicted of murdering Breanna Taylor is about to be released based on the two of them. I think was it two officers?
It's two officers.
Yeah, about to be released based on the fact that
Well, they they
they did
dismissed
right.
those particular charges, but they still have other charges.
They have other charges, but they're
Yeah,
not about to serve time for those.
they can still serve time, just not as much.
Well, that was.
The charges that they originally had could have got them, I think, life, and the
Hmm.
other ones, one of them, I believe, is like maybe 1 year or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's definitely going to be, and it's probably going to be. They're going to say time served because it's been over a year that they've been in jail.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. They're about. He's about to be freed simply because they're only going to be charged with the lesser charges. Was it unlawful? Unlawful something. But anyway, so basically, the basis of was it the no
They
this
was, I think one of them was like falsifying, because if you're not familiar with Breonna Taylor, she was the person that they allegedly had a warrant,
more for her boyfriend,
came into the house apparently without a no knock order.
a no knock warrant is what they
Um,
had.
yeah, and so when they came in and the boyfriend saw it, the boyfriend shot at the police because he didn't understand who was actually coming into the house, because
Right.
again, it's no knock. The bullets hit her, resulting in her death.
Mm-hmm.
And there were several officers that were charged in connection with the case, because one of these officers has more charges because he
It was
basically,
determined it was his bullet that killed her, and
well,
it
no,
was
no,
over.
no, no, no. This these two people. I think you're talking about the other person. The other person is already
Right.
the
That's
other person. The other person that is currently in jail. Or wait, no, hold on. The other person that they're redoing the trial because it was a hung jury or mistrial or whatever you call it. That trial is going on, I think, October or September of this year. These are two other people.
right.
Their bullet did not hit her.
I was like, I said he got more charges because it was determined that it was his bullet that killed her, and that he was the actual one to fire the shot that killed her. Basically.
But that's not one of these two people.
No, no, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay,
I was
okay,
talking
okay,
about the
okay,
other. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So basically, it appears that they fabricated information stating that they had a warrant, or to get a warrant or whatever. They falsified information. So it appears, that's why I said allegedly had a warrant, because
Hmm.
apparently it appears that it may not have been true.
It was supposed to be for a whole different address. That warrant was,
Yeah.
and so they said because they determined that because he fired, the boyfriend fired first.
Yeah, that it's the boyfriend's fault,
Had and then
and
when
that's
I
how
was
she died. She died as a
the
result of
result
her boyfriend
boyfriend
firing.
shooting. As I was listening to a lawyer break it down on CNN when the story broke, and that's
Okay.
exactly what they said. I mean, the charges are valid. I mean, but the claim is valid simply because her death resulted. I mean, her death was a result of him firing the shot. Because who knows if they would have fired had he not fired? But who knew who was coming into their home, and he had a right to fire that weapon. So it. I
See,
mean,
my thing is this. So normally, if you commit a crime, and I don't know if it's a felony, but let's just go with me. So if you commit a crime or a murder in while doing a felony
capital.
act, felonious act,
Hmm.
then you therefore are charged with murder if someone dies, even if the person that dies is a person that was with you. You were then still charged and responsible.
Hmm.
So to me, and I don't know if this is a felony or not, but to me, if you falsified information and that led to going to a house, then the catalyst for that it's the no knock warrant to me.
Hmm.
In my mind, that makes sense that it would be the no knock, because how was he, if you never came to the house with a no knock order and not letting it be known that you are a police or SWAT and all this stuff, then I would only have been protecting myself,
They
right?
were executing the duties of their position. That's all. That's how they're gonna cover that. That that's not even substantial. Even though I'm all for it, it's not substantial. What you're saying. That
It said the
that
judge ruled
situation.
that there is no direct link between the warrantless entry and Taylor's death, writing that James and I guess Meany were not involved in the raid on Taylor's home. Instead, he wrote it was Walker's decision to open fire that was the legal cause of Taylor's death.
Right, and they was firing from outside,
Yeah,
50 something shots.
I think it was from outside. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I know it was. I remember that. 50
But
something shots fired in there, and they determined what bullet killed her, and the one that's doing the retrial is it was determined that he's the one that killed her.
I can't think of his name. It's like it starts with
I
an
don't care
H.
about their names. Fuck them.
I'm just saying it starts with an H.
Asshole.
No, that's not his name. And that
His
starts
name
with
is
an A.
Hasshole.
And that starts with an A.
It starts with an H. Hasshole starts with an H. That's
But
his
yeah,
name.
so so basically they removed the felony deprivation of right charges. Those were the ones that were dismissed. And James is still accused of knowingly drafting a false search warrant affidavit, and Sergeant Meany approved the warrant. So that's
Yep.
basically.
Son
But
of a gun.
what is that man name?
Who cares? He's going to jail.
They haven't even had his.
He going to jail. Watch. If I got anything to say about it, he going to jail.
Seeing how you're not a citizen of
I'm not a
the
citizen. You
state
just
of
said person.
Kentucky,
A
so I
citizen.
don't really know exactly how much input you'll have. But anyway,
Don't worry about
uh,
it. That's what you always worried about the wrong thing. Hirsch.
whatever. Um, any other thoughts
No,
about that? Let's briefly go to this J Lo situation because I
I
really
really
want to make
don't.
this.
I really don't. Oh my
No, I
God. Go
just really
ahead.
want to say this. So J Lo has
Go now.
filed for divorce against Ben Affleck. This is her fourth husband. Um, I think she need to be single for a while. That's all I'm gonna say. She need to be single. She
Some
just
people
needs to be
can't
single for
be
a while.
like Ursher.
But she need to be single for a while.
She said she keeping that ring too.
She probably is. But I also saw, like in my research of this information, I found out that she has filed for divorce on all, well, for three of them, but Mark Anthony filed for divorce against her. I thought that was interesting.
So four, A Rod,
No,
Mark Anthony.
she wasn't married to A Rod.
Okay.
She was married to a waiter. He has
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah. That was her
yeah,
first marriage when she was
but
in Living
yeah,
Color.
the waiter, the dancer, which is Chris Judd, I knew his name. Then Mark Anthony, and then now Ben Affleck. But apparently, she was never married to A Rod. They were just
They was
engaged.
together for a long time. They had the longest relationship.
No, her
No,
and
Mark
Mark Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had the
Okay.
longest, and they also have the kids.
She get her some good men. Yeah, them kids old now too.
I don't say old, but yeah.
They old.
But yeah.
Anyway,
So whatever. You can go ahead and go with your book, TV show, movie. What has it topped you for episode 71?
well, I
TK, it's
guess
your
it's
turn.
I guess it's a TV show, Untold, some kind of show on Netflix. Then came on. Now I don't want to go with that one because I did it. So I want to talk about what Netflix released about Lacey Peterson here recently and her murder. If anybody doesn't remember, back in 2002, Scott Peterson and his wife had a situation, and she was disappeared. She disappeared, and was later found to be murdered. He was tried and convicted of her murder. And I watched all the stuff back then and really didn't pay attention to a lot of it. But it something came out on some platform about her murder a few years ago, and I watched it, and I was adamant that he was innocent. Okay. Um, he got tried in the media because he had an affair, and I didn't think that was right, and I do not think that I agree with his lawyer Mark Gregaros or something like that, that there was not enough evidence to convict him of this crime. It was all circumstantial, as well as you know people hated him because he cheated on this beautiful young lady. You know what I mean? Like they literally hated him. People hated him. I can't
Wasn't
hear
she
you.
wasn't she pregnant also?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I wanted to make sure I got the right with
And
the right people.
and so the perspective that I watched the first documentary from, like I said, I was listening to what they were saying, the
Hmm.
prosecutors. I was listening to the detectives that were investigating him, and they had failed to allow a witness that saw him in the boat with no body. You know what I'm saying? They failed to allow that witness to testify. So I'm like, oh no, because the man said that he could see inside the boat and there was no body in the boat, right? I mean,
Right.
you have. I'm going to leave it up to everybody to do their googles about Lacey Peterson if you don't know about her murder. But I watched this last documentary, and there was some things that were revealed that weren't in the other one.
Oh.
And so I was conflicted with my decision that because he's seeking a new trial, like he's still
Hmm.
maintaining his innocence.
And I
And
didn't realize. Just I hate to cut you off, but I didn't realize that this happened so long ago. It's been
hmm
over 20 years.
2002 Christmas,
Yeah.
Christmas Eve is when Christmas Eve, yeah, Christmas Eve she disappeared. And this man is not, like, when I say this man is not one of those super genius types that could have put together a detailed plot. But there were some things that I didn't know. I didn't know that he had recently bought that boat. Like he had just recently bought that boat.
Oh.
His in-laws didn't even know he had it. And it just led me to believe that there was a lot of inconsistencies that I didn't hear in the other one. Because I didn't, like I said, back then I heard it, but I didn't follow it. I was young in 2002. Shit, I was doing all kind of shit back then. But anyway, um, it just it what it taught me is that there really is two sides to every story. Well, I think it's just two, because it's what happened and what didn't happen. That's it. There's
It's
only
three
two sides.
sides.
What's the other side?
It's his, hers, and the truth.
Well, hers is nothing. She ain't said
I
shit.
know. I know she can't say
She
nothing,
been dead.
but I'm just saying. They
But
always say
it
it's three sides.
they really broke down the story of the affair, and the fact that he told the lady that he was having an affair with that she was already dead. I didn't know that. He
Yeah,
told her he
because
told
isn't it the
her
case that the mistress is the one that like turned him in, right?
well, she didn't turn him in. She wore a wire
Okay, okay.
and get a lot of his conversations on tape that really ended up doing him in. And but I mean, really nobody really convicted this man because of an affair in the court. In the media he was convicted by the media, but in the court they used this evidence, and then the jury had already been tainted. They went one county over talking about, oh, they'll be fine. Like that's really not fair. That change of venue shit, that should really be a thing, because and especially today's age, you could he
Yeah,
you
everything is quick. Yeah.
yeah, you can't do that. There's no way the jury pool isn't tainted.
Yeah, because soon as somebody die, baby, somebody's gonna be the first one to post it on Facebook and let
Mhm.
everybody know that they know the person dead. It just
So,
happens.
so I just think that I really am upset, because I was adamant based on what I heard from that first documentary. I was
Yeah.
like, there is no way, because, like I said, the evidence was circumstantial and it didn't really make sense.
Mm.
There was only little things like he wouldn't talk to the media. They felt like he was avoiding them. So what? My wife is missing, and that's the thing. He never said was, like referred to her in the past tense. He always said that she's disappeared. He even told the lady he was cheating with that when we find her, then I can come to you and tell you the truth about everything. When we find her. You know what I'm saying? And this is in conversations that he doesn't know that he's being recorded. So it's like I was so it
But
was
what all of her? Because I'm getting this case and that other. I think Chris, somebody named Chris. Let's just go with that. I think two cases confused. So, isn't this also the case where her purse and stuff was still at the house?
yes.
Okay.
It was still in the house. The dog was on a leash, like she had been walking the dog. Somebody said that they had seen her walking the dog that morning. He said that him and her before he left were watching Martha Stewart. They pulled the show from that day. He said they was talking about meringue, and on that show from that day, they was talking about meringue. So there was a lot of stuff that didn't make sense of how he could have done that and it's disposed of her so easily and quickly.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. And then inconsistency. He had told the in laws he was going golfing, but he ended up going fishing. But the place he
Like,
went
that's two
fishing,
different things.
yeah, and fishing was 90 minutes away. So there was some inconsistencies, yes, but none of them that would have led anyone, in my opinion, to believe that he murdered her, except for where they found her at. They found her, out there by where he was. You know what I'm saying? Fishing. But there was a witness that never got to come and tell their story that said that he passed right by him in that boat. And there was no body because it was a shallow boat.
But who's to say that? I understand what you're saying. I haven't watched the documentary. I've been seeing it, but I own because it's on Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but yeah, I haven't seen it. But who's to say that he didn't already drop off the body before the
No,
other
because they
person
st-
saw him?
the time no the
Okay.
timeline was based on that. It all happened like right there, and then he come back from fishing and he eats. They say he eats some pizza and drinks some milk, and he starts calling her family, talking about, "Have you seen her?" Like, cause she was supposed to be. He was acting. I felt like he was acting, but he was acting because she was supposed to be at her mother's. Like he
But
couldn't reach her.
she was supposed to. The kids were.
No, no kids. They didn't have kids. She
They
was
didn't
just
have
pregnant.
kids. Oh, this must be the other story. Other people.
Mm-hmm. There was no kids involved. I mean, it's just
Other
he
than
did.
just her being pregnant.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that was a big deal too because like that was crazy. But yeah, I just never. I don't know if you weren't there. Never be adamant about what happened if you weren't there. That's my lesson that I'm learning, and I'm helping everybody else because based on the evidence and what I heard, I would have been like, man, if y'all let that motherfucker out of jail, he ain't not kill that woman. But
I'm surprised your story wasn't about Eric McNair.
I
That's
was
what.
about to go. That was what I was about to say. That was what
Oh,
Untold
okay.
was. Oh my god, it was
It
so.
wasn't Untold. It was
It
what
was.
was
That was the name of it. Untold. It said
oh,
Untold. Untold. The murder of Aaron McNair.
okay.
And I watched it. And, that upsets me. That really upsets me.
Well, that's why I thought that's who you was gonna
That's what.
like
But that didn't teach me nothing. But the fact that my man,
you
my
taught me something.
my hero was a philandering whore out there fucking around with these young ass girls. He got himself into that, but he set himself up for it, and I didn't realize it was that intense. Like I didn't know that he was paying for that girl the place to stay, paying for the Escalade, doing all that, and he really
Put his
was.
name on it.
Yeah, yeah. She got pulled over for a DUI. He hopping out. Got somebody come pick him up.
Yeah.
He hopping out. Like
They
he,
there was suspicious of one of those the person that she got the supposedly got the gun from was involved with her
yeah,
and they never went back to have they never really had a good conversation with him because he actually had been either accused or already guilty of murder, so he wasn't even supposed to be having a gun anyway.
yeah. He went to jail with himself, but ooh, well, she come up on my phone for. Anyway, it just threw me all the way off. See how women do. But anyway, I don't even know what I was about to say, but yeah, I love Steve McNair. Oh yeah, that dude that she got the gun from. The way they in the show, the way they caught him up, like he was like, I couldn't say nothing about that gun. My girlfriend was right there. You know what I'm saying? It was so funny. Like, I mean, I don't know, but nothing was taken. So I don't think there was any robbery. I think she was jealous that he was not going to leave his. She was jealous that he wasn't going to leave his wife, and he was seeing other women too.
Mm,
And so, yeah, as soon as I saw that, I had to watch that. That's my guy. Like,
I
do
know.
you not know? I cried with Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, and Steve McNair died. Do you hear me? I cried. Like I knew these people, never met them a day in my life, ever.
Oh, 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 oh,
Oh, it's
oh,
time to
oh.
go. She said. She
No,
said I'm
no, no,
talking
no,
too
no,
much,
no,
y'all.
no,
You
no,
see how
no,
she do? This how I'm treated. This is how I'm treated on a
no,
daily basis by my co-host.
no. That's not
She
what
was.
I was
She
trying to
told me I
do.
was talking too much. She wanted me to shut up, and I'm
No,
fixing to.
no, that was not what I was trying to
And
do.
I'm fixing to because it's time to go. Cause we the ops.
So, episode 71, my bad. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Yes, she
But
was.
but if you say we okay. But episode 71 of the ops, we telling it all. This is your girl Spicy K.
And I'm TK. So my DJ, she can't scratch a lick. She want me to rap on this shit. I'm like, hey, you got a theme song? We got an intro. We tell them the ops, we coming in though. We in the show with me, and I'm just saying whatever, cause I can't rhyme. But I hit Bobby head though. I had to cut it out, cause that's what they call that free throw, that freestyle. I'm standing here shooting at the basket. I ain't hitting nothing, but it's okay, cause I am one and something. I can go brick for brick. That's not good. In basketball, shit, you gotta hit the basket. You gotta tell the stories. We bring the tea. We got all the knowledge. I'm telling you, straightforward. I'm done. I'm sweating. It's hot. I don't know why am I hot. I ain't drinking no. That's crazy. I had a Sprite. Zero. It's alright. But we the ops. We told it all. Oh, we got a call. They don't realize I'm on a podcast. That's crazy.
This is the ops, we telling it all. I'm your girl Spicy K.
And again, I'm TK. Peace.
And we out of here.
Phew.